Okay, quick Monday morning radar update. Little gap down in the UK. DAX is just dropped through its opening range. FTSE's bouncing off its opening range low. Same with the 250. And the small caps is trying to take out gap down, trying to take out that high. Very early in the week to obviously say this, but the risk on. It looks better from risk on into the efficient ones. The risk on markets look a little bit better than the efficient ones, as they usually do in my mind anyway. But let's just move on from that. Gold got whacked on Friday. Absolutely nothing hitting the screens in the gold stocks for some time now. Hard to find. I'm just repeating my view. Just not in play, is it? You want to see it in play, gold, and it's not in play. So I took the liberty of drawing this potential sort of little coiling base here. I'll just leave that in for context. First retrace, it could still be in a first retrace. But let's just be honest about a few levels here. This is 52-week lows now. So below here, that's where the start of a new down move would exist, isn't it? I suppose there's nothing bullish about trading 52-week lows. Actually trading it, going near it is one thing, but starting to trade, closing down on weeklies, on monthlies is where sinister things start to happen. So we'll move on from there. Let's go into Bitcoin. It's approaching the supply zone here. So what do I mean by that? Well, everyone who bought here, break even would be a result for those, wouldn't it? So these things just not in play. It's starting to look a little bit. The stocks are just doing exactly what the Bitcoin is doing. Looking at them, if you look at ARB in the UK, it's just doing exactly the same thing. And that aggressive zone of interest would be around this swing point area, and it would be around a testing of the 10-month or the 200-day, rising 200-day, is where fantastic reward can be found. But let's just try and find one. There just isn't. Bitcoin's been so bullish once it trends, it's not even visited. So the last time it sort of did that was here, and it went off on a journey, hit the band of supply, and then rolled over again. So in stocks, stocks come down and visit the 200-day, and I know this is a volatile product, but it's volatile, but it's actually orderly in its price action. That it doesn't, it's very normal to see a stock come and trade in the 200-day, rising 200-day. Very normal. But Bitcoin doesn't actually do it very often because it's so orderly in its trading. It's volatile but orderly. High beta, So my view on Bitcoin is obviously, just let it shake out, whatever. It's not about getting a low price now. It's about trading a high probability move. And, when we see it, we will talk about it again. At the moment, it's just bumbling around, under supply. And, you'd want it to, 52-week lows is all the way down here on it, but you'd want it to hold this little level here really as well. It could have a washout move below there, and that might be the way to sort of look at it. I can show you that actually, going back to 2015. That's the 52-week lows. It rolled over, it had the washout move, and then it built the first base again, and there was the first pullback, and off it went on its journey again. Very orderly. So wait for the very orderly price action. Simple as that, isn't it? Moving on. So WATR's up 5% today. It's what's that? 28% out of the last base. About plus 20% since I added to the trade. happy days. Add to your winners, starve your losers. When you're right, when everything's right, you should be adding, not. But there is limits, there is limits to that, and I think the last chance saloon on WATR for adding, the way I count bases, the last chance saloon, the breakout was the one I took, and if it pulls back, that will be the last time I would look at adding to this trend, because after that, you should be riding. You should be riding a profit out after that. Is basically the way I see it. Getting on trends early is what it's all about. So, moving on. What else is running? VLX, I'll just do the upgrades and downgrades talk. Absolutely meaningless noise. Yeah, it creates a little bit of buying and selling, a bit like a news day on the day. A little bit of noise on the day. I think there's been an upgrade on this, probably, targeting somewhere up here. It will be the closest measured move on these upgrades usually, and without looking I'd just guess it would be around sort of, just take the log scale off. Let me just guess where the upgrade might be without looking. I have no clue, but I'd probably say it was 470 or something like that. That's my guess. So that all I've done is just done a measured move there, but somewhere around that area, third to a full measured move is pretty normal, and you chasing that carrot and taking profit there is not where you're going to make any money, because they will downgrade it to load up, they will upgrade it to sell into the whatever. At the end of the day, the ones where you get paid will have dozens of upgrades and downgrades on the journey, dozens of them, probably hundreds of it will be 40, 50, 60 upgrades and downgrades on the journey when you're riding a good trend. Guess what? It's absolutely meaningless to making money. Doesn't mean a thing. Moving on. Let's have a look in the volume leaders. Soapbox Monday. It is 10 past 10. We should have traded 25% to be on average volume. I'll just put 245 in. Yeah, we've got some good volume actually. I'll just buzz through these fast, these large caps. VLX is on there actually. Obviously it's a large, it's been a AIM 50. I put these in with the large caps. I put the AIM 100 in with the large caps these days. Crude way of splitting the screens up. Cape, obviously, the low risk zone for entering that one. We talked about that one when it was in the zone. LUCE, yes, I have a position in that and VLX, so I'll just throw that out there. Through all-time highs today with the help of WATR and a few others. Very green day in the portfolio actually. And into the small caps. Yeah, we're knocking it out of the park on volume in the small caps today. So there's a lot in here. Let's just get a feel for what sectors are moving. Industrial metals, a few pharmaceuticals, a few banks in there. The bank move started a month or so back. The REITs were moving 6 months plus back. So just take that into account when everyone's, shouting about the inflation. Just remember where they hit the screens. It's a long way behind us. And this, you know, if it is going to play out, this could still be early, but not early, but some of them might be, the laggards, but the leaders moved a long time ago. SUR obviously added to this one as well. It's kind of lower beta, it's the sector it's in, but it's still up plus 8% out of the base. Let's just buzz through these. Solly, we'll see that on the screens tonight. It will never make the GARP screen. It's a mature growth stock in my world. Oh, it might. Yeah, it will actually. I take that back. It looks like it's got the prelims behind it. Yeah. So we'll look at that again. Lit back into mean trend, normal area. If it throws a swing bar, we'll see it on the end of day screens. And so continues. Doing all right. Okay as well, that one. Cornish Metals. I've got a position in this one. You can see my trade plan already there. It's a POS. Do not. No opinions. Just no opinions on that one. WATR, obviously I hold that one as well. Jarvis continues. Gear for Music continues. Nothing on that one. VLG. Day 2 of that new move. This ICSI, I know there's a big song and dance about this stock. It's an awful stock. I did have a nibble at it once over here. It's an awful. Its trades absolutely awful, and there was a base on it here, and it did move up, and then it just died a death again. It was a full-on POS over here, and well, not full-on. It's got some okay quarter-on-quarter numbers, but no guidance on that one anymore. Is the reason for that stock to stop trading the action it's traded in the past? Well, there certainly isn't in because there's no numbers to sort of, you know, it's a total gamble to sort of say it is. BKS, yep, you know, I hold a position. That CER, yep, I hold a position in that. So it's a good day for us today. Couths moving on. This is lose less, loss making. Tick up in the turnover, decelerating year on year, but still a tick up. Good quarter on quarter. This one looks like it's decelerating as well. Accelerating on the pre-tax. Ticking back up on the earnings per share. Rear view for us. Deliveries through the highs. This is an IPO high there. So we looked at this a few times, didn't we? We kind of said this really is a cheat. Now, you might take a little ledge like that, and it might be up here, and you might be going, you know, see, fantastic, and you're doing so well, and then it might still throw a pullback in. So you've got to remember that, you know, you could knock yourself out of a primary trend by strangling too much profit out of a secondary sort of trend move. Entry is probably the way of thinking about that. So you've got to be very clear what you're trying to achieve when you cheat something like that. Are you going for a trend? Or are you going for a swing? The way I do it is I go trend or swing. I make the decision and I put it in that management, in the spreadsheet. It goes into that management sort of campaign. Two ways of managing things, So I'm happy if I traded it as a swing and it knocked me out and then turned out to be a great trend trade. I've got to be happy with that because nobody knows in the future. You can't make these decisions on the fly. You have to make a decision, otherwise you're just flying blind. Just have a plan and just be happy with the plan. This is my plan. I'm happy. If it stops me out, so be it. I'll move on to the next one. That is the way to think about these things. Anyway, and you can always re-enter. Not in it. So that's quite a long one for a Monday. There's quite a bit of stuff in there. I plan to walk away from the screens and do a few other things. If you do like these videos, I will just ask you again. I know I should ask at the beginning of the video. Just like and subscribe, because if it doesn't, get the interest, I drop them to the members in the chat. It's quicker for me to drop to the members in the chat. But I do these. I'm not pumping the website or anything. It is here. If you like it, I will continue the content. And a quick look what's moving again today. Yeah, good start to the week. Okay.